Hello and welcome back to the Film Posers YouTube channel. My name is Josie and I am accompanied by my co-host Gabriela Burgos, and we are going to be talking about Cherry Lemonade with the director of Cherry Lemonade, Aisha Ford. Now, before we get started, this is part of our Tribeca coverage and it'll be our last video. So I just want to say thank you to all those people that have been accompanying us for our Tribeca coverage, be it on our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, or here on our YouTube channel. Now, for this very special coverage, we are going to be talking again about Cherry Lemonade. And Cherry Lemonade is a short that had its premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival. It is a total of 11 minutes and it follows on a hot summer day in a lower income neighborhood. A Black girl learns to take the lead on her own terms. And again, it is directed by Aisha Ford, which we will be talking with her in a couple of seconds. But before we get into that, Gabriela's going to let us know what her accomplishments are.
So Aisha is currently a graduate student at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, and she has been directing and writing so many short films throughout the last couple of years that have been broadcasted in all sorts of different platforms like American Black Film Festival, independent TV series, and screened at multiple film festivals, including the Tribeca Film Festival. And her recent accomplishments include the Tisch School of the Arts Dean's Fellowship, the Spike Lee Film Production Grant, and the prestigious NYU Wasserman Award for her short film Royal. She is also the recipient of the British Academy of Film and Television Arts HBO scholarships. And in 2019, she was chosen as one of the fellow MFAs to attend the Sundance Film Festival on behalf of the BET Black House Foundation.
Yes, we are very happy to be able to have the opportunity to speak with Aisha. And without further ado, let's get into it. So we're gonna jump in right into the questions, and we're gonna start off with Gabriela.
Yeah. So, Aisha, the first question that I have for you is that this short, Cherry Lemonade, is clearly such a labor of love. What was your favorite part of making it?
Favorite part was, just hanging around with the talent, like talking to them about the characters, the stories, and the motivations, and just like watching on the screen like their performances. So like, oh yes.
God, I love her so much on This Is Us. She's so talented, and seeing her on this short was such a nice surprise. Oh my God, like I love that she's doing so many things. Can't wait to see where her career goes. She's so talented, and she was so amazing in this short. Okay, so my next question I have is, throughout the film, Phoenix is trying to break out of her shell. How did you decide that you wanted to show this through, slushy, the cherry lemonade slushy? I just thought that it was such an interesting metaphor for that. How did you decide that that's what you wanted to showcase it through?
Yeah, so like the cherry lemonade slushy was like I needed a goal, and I was like, okay, what is a kid that wants, like my character, I wanted to be like a normal kid, someone who like just wants a slushy. That's it. So I was like, okay, I can just put this as a kid who just wants a slushy, just want to try to be herself. She's kind of like that outcast in the group. She's not like Kurt or the cheerleader. She just had her own lane.
Yeah. So interesting because, I feel like there are so many metaphors that they use, animals or, plants to kind of like show, breaking out of your shell. And here it was a slushy. And I think that was my favorite part because she just wanted to get a slushy, and that in itself symbolized her growing up and gaining her independence. I just thought that was so cool. Because, what kid doesn't like a slushy and wanted to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the store and get a slushy or a candy myself with my $1 or $2 that your parents give you an allowance. And I think it's very relatable, and part of its strength. It's very relatable.
Yeah, speaking of which, for Cherry Lemonade, you masterfully tackle different elements of the coming of age story. How did the process go when choosing what to include and highlight when it comes to growing up in a world that likes to make young girls feel smaller than they might already feel?
Yeah, so I've written a lot of coming of age films. And it's like my main one for me is showing her actions in a way that we see what she wants and going forward, and that goal and that lesson she learns and growing up. because I feel like all of my films is like some of the lessons I've learned when I was a kid. And I think that's a beautiful thing and something that I'm really, really like attracted to. This champion, like my hometown of where I grew up.
Yeah, because especially we're able to, again, just mix, because the coming of age story has so many elements, and I love how you're able to fit it all in the short without seeming rushed or anything. It felt totally natural, and it has such a good pacing. Plus, everyone just bounced off each other, and it felt so human. And I think that was my favorite element of it. So I actually wanted to ask you, what was your favorite part of it? Like, if you had to name the most important aspect of the film or what you hope people take from this short, what would it be?
Important if I want somebody to take from it. To me, again, it's just like looking through the eyes of a young Black girl and her journey, you know, and it's her just wanting to be a kid, but sometimes she can't because like maybe where you grew up in. So like I want you to take from this is like, look, I just want to be. Sometimes it's not about. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like all over the place, but like maybe it's like you don't want to feel like you need to grow up too fast, you know. And the where I came from is like I was kind of forced to grow up fast, and you know it's that feeling of just wanting to still be a kid.
Yeah, I think my favorite turnaround of the film was that at the beginning, it was almost like her brother was making her trying to take those self-defense classes between the two of them, and it was nice to see her turn in the end when it's her own decision. Because oftentimes, you know, you have like the overprotective father or the overprotective brother that's like, you have to defend yourself, and it kind of makes like you're making this person seem weak. So to see it come from her strength and her own decision, I think that was like the best part of the short in the end, because the agency you give her, it's just very inspiring.
Truly a really lovely short and one of the highlights of Tribeca.
Yes, it was honestly one of our highlights, and we're so glad we were able to talk with you.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, that's actually all for our questions, but is there anything else you'd like to share for our audience about this short and where they can possibly find it, if it's going to screen at any other festivals or if it'll be available soon?
We'll be screening at different festivals coming up, and so you could have found it on Tribeca still, but I think that ended on 23rd.
Yeah.
But I'll keep you all posted. We have a website as well for more information, and we have like social media pages.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
And
Thank you. I hope
congratulations on everything.